One of the first things I realized after using the tank a few times is that your brain, your thoughts, and the potential of your mind is far more powerful than you ever realized before. And it's just that so much is often wasted on sensing the world. I want to say, I don't have a number, I'm no biologist or psychologist, but it seems like over 90% of your brain is just struggling to try to focus on hearing things, touching things, seeing things. And once your mind is given the opportunity to let go of everything and can devote 100% of your energy to pure thought, you guys are going to understand how powerful your mind really is. Now, another thing that people often ask me is about hallucinations, because whenever they hear about sensory deprivation in psychology class or something, or listen to someone talking about sensory deprivation take, they hear that people have hallucinations and they get freaked out like they're on some sort of drug. And yes, you will hallucinate somewhat, and the longer you stay in there, the more powerful your hallucinations are going to get, but it's different than what you may think. So first of all, I want to repeat this, that whenever you have nothing coming into your brain at all, like whenever you're in a sensory deprivation tank, some really strange and interesting things go on inside your brain. So the initial experience is pretty much the same for everyone. After about 20 minutes, you're going to start to see little flakes of light floating in front of you. Now, I often describe them as energy feathers because that's what they remind me of. Little feathers of, energy. They kind of look like changing shape as they move left to right, right to left, up, down. You're going to see a lot of them over and over again. And it doesn't matter if your eyes are closed or open. In the tank, it really doesn't matter because everything is pitch black and your mind is going to make up everything that you're going to see visually. So these little feathers or flakes of light, they're going to begin to turn into shapes that are more and more complex. And soon enough, you might see waves of light instead of little feathers, or entire spheres of light. So they can begin to turn into shapes that are more complex, more powerful almost. Now, after this is when most people begin experiencing what they would say is hallucinations. A lot of people I talk to often hear music, maybe a song that they're familiar with, or see visions of eyes. I never saw eyes myself, but a lot of people say that whenever they're in the tank. One of my first times in the tank, I remember the first thing that I heard was old wagon wheels, like wooden wagon wheels from an old covered wagon going along an old dirt trail. Why? Still don't know, but anyways, your brain, like I said, does some crazy stuff. The first visual hallucination that I saw was my second time in the tank, and it was a silhouette of two people, one person kneeling down, the other person standing up. And why I saw this, I don't know. Like I said, your mind does crazy stuff. When it has nothing coming in from the outside, it kind of begins to create its own reality from the inside. So that's why prisoners in solitary confinement often end up going crazy. If you didn't know, they say that the worst thing that you can do to a prisoner is put them in solitary confinement. And if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much a cell separate from everyone that's completely dark and they're completely alone. And I think that's why, because once you have nothing coming out, then your own reality is only what you have in here. So they start, of course, seeing things, hearing things, not things that we define as reality outside, but everything is inside their brain. And of course, that's what we call crazy people. Now, I want to mention this before I go on. The goal of a sensory deprivation tank is not to try to hallucinate. The goal is to try to improve your way of thinking and improve your life, make you a better person. Hallucinations are just something that people talk about a lot because, it's very different whenever you go in for the first time and you start seeing things and hearing things that don't really exist. It's interesting to talk about, but if you're getting a tank just to hallucinate, then, do drugs or something else, because it's much more beneficial than just seeing things. So for a lot of people at first, these things that you hear can be kind of enjoyable or see, but for other people they can be kind of scary at first before you're kind of used to it. And aside from just, being entertained by interesting sights and sounds, it's kind of interesting because you begin to realize that Your eyes and your ears are just tools that your body uses in kind of an attempt to experience the world around it. But that isn't your reality. Your reality isn't created outside your body. Your reality and what you sense is real is all created inside your brain. So you begin to understand that, you know what, I don't even need my eyes to see or ears to hear, and you can begin to question what reality kind of is. So that's another interesting thing, and something that I think about a lot in the tank, what reality truly is. But anyways, I'll just skip that for right now before, my mind blows up.